Dave Harswick of the Wisconsin Education Association says the fiery workers' movement ignited in Madison must not be allowed to go out.
We have just begun this fight. We must take this home. This fire that's been lit here cannot die. It cannot die.
Wisconsin's mass resistance to attacks on collective bargaining has helped spur Indiana Democratic state senators to walk out, blocking a Republican vote on anti-union legislation there. And there was a union working family lobby day of action in Michigan in the fight against attacks on workers and unions there. Carol Turner is with UAW Local 6888 in Michigan.
It's anti-worker, anti-union legislation, and they want to totally annihilate us.
Day 9 of the battle for Wisconsin labor rights included Jesse Jackson and Wisconsin Congresswoman Tammy Baldwin walking in solidarity with workers. Out on the Capitol steps, the Raging Grannies sang labor songs, and a Dropkick Murphys song closed out one of the Madison rallies.
We gotta take the bastards down.
The governor was scheduled to give a budget speech to the Assembly March 1st. He was not about to try it in the fully occupied People's House, so he ordered police to announce that the deadline for overnight protesters to leave was 4 p.m. Sunday, February 27th. Protesters in the capital occupation city, who had always had excellent communication and a relationship of mutual respect with Capitol Police Chief Charles Tubbs, began Saturday to prepare for the Sunday clearing of the Capitol.
And pay attention and please pass this information along once you hear it now. Text it, Facebook it, let it out, and you Twitter it. The official word from the Capitol Police is that the building will resume regular business hours tomorrow. What that means, the building closes at 4 p.m. tomorrow. We will no longer be able to sleep here in the Capitol. So tonight is the night. Tonight is the last night. We encourage you, all of you right here, and all of your families and friends and neighbors, right now, invite them here to stay tonight. If there was ever a night to be here, to stay here, that time is now. The Capitol is rightfully ours tonight. Now, that's by law. That doesn't mean that that's going to happen. So listen to this. There are currently efforts being organized in a very calm, very calm and organized way in conjunction and communication with the police. So listen, as we speak, our goal is to maintain our presence at the Capitol for as long as we need our senators to be out here. We will be here. So remember, whose house? Our house. Whose house? Our house. Whose
And that's it for this edition of Making Contact. Tune in next week for part 2 of this documentary on the 2011 Wisconsin Workers' Uprising. This program was produced by the staff at Workers Independent News, including Frank Emsbach, Jesse Russell, and Doug Cunningham, with contributions by WORT Radio in Madison and Molly Stens. Log on to laborradio.org to order a CD of the full-length 1-hour documentary. You can also do that at our website, radioproject.org, or by calling the National Radio Project at 800-529-5736. Check out our website, radioproject.org, to get podcasts, download past shows, or help make a difference by supporting our work. Lisa Rudman is our Executive Director, Con Pham Associate Director, Hyunjin Lee and Esther Mania producers, Carl Jagban Singh Volunteer Coordinator, Lisa Bartfi Production Intern, and Barbara Barnett, Dan Turner, Alfonso Hooker, Alton Bird, Judy Huang, Catherine Lee, and Deshal Moore Volunteers. I'm Andrew Stelzer. Thanks for listening to Making Contact.
Well, I want to convey to people the sense and the breadth of the people that are here. Democracy Now! Senior producer Mike Burke came a few hours before we did yesterday to the state capitol with John Hamilton, and he spoke to the public employees, the labor activists, the students who've been filling these hallways for the last 11 days. Each night, hundreds of people sleeping overnight. During the day, the booming sounds of chants and drums fill the building. So many people are staying here that protesters have begun building impromptu dining areas, a lending library, and a medic center. Let's go right now to just the feel of the Capitol here in Madison, Wisconsin.
My name is Harriet Rowan, and I'm a senior at UW-Madison. I've been here since the February 14th rally, and I've been here every night of the sleep-in. I'm just a student who's here in solidarity with everyone and also concerned about, the future of our university and for the future for students all over Wisconsin.
Can you take us on a tour of what's going on inside the State House?
Of course I can. I can show you everything. I've been here for 9 days. So we're walking right now on the ground floor of the Capitol, coming in the north entrance toward the amazing drum circle that's been going on for about 9 days, I think. I think today is day number 10, maybe. The inside of the ground floor rotunda is packed full of people, and on the first floor, which is one flight up from the ground floor from the entrances, is also packed with people. And then on the second floor, people are looking down. Really the focus is right here, the center of the ground floor. It's where most of the energy comes from.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Barbara Crane. I'm the president of the National Federation of Nurses. We want to stand with our brothers and sisters for what we consider the genocide of the middle class of this country, and we're not going to take it anymore. As a nurse, I know what a code looks like, and a code red is happening at ground zero in Wisconsin, and it's gonna come down.
An injury to one is an injury to all. And I think that that's a point that a lot of people are getting out of this, that people see Wisconsin as like the focal point of where the attack on unions is starting right now and where it can be stopped. And that's why it's so important. And so many people are giving us support from out of state and coming from out of state to support us. But at the same time, I mean, 95% of the people I talk to are from Wisconsin. So I think the claims that they're outside agitators are quite a stretch, and I haven't seen much evidence for that.
How big have been some of the crowds over the past week and a half?
I've heard numbers as big as 100,000. Honestly, I spend about 23 hours a day inside the Capitol, so I don't really even see the rallies all that often. But that's what I've been hearing. Between 40, then 60, then 100,000. So.
What else is on this floor?
There's a lot of stuff on the first floor. There's lots of legislative offices and stuff like that. As we're walking, the walls are still covered in letters from people. And it says up on the wall that there are 10,776 messages posted up here.
Who are these messages written to?
These messages are written to Governor Scott Walker from various people and brought here through MoveOn.org. Here's one of the letters, and it says, "I am a registered Republican, and I oppose your bill as it is currently written. I would appreciate if during your daily radio addresses you told the whole story and not the biased portion you have been emphasizing." From Kathy Connolly of Grafton, Wisconsin. Right now we're coming into the hallway that goes around the first floor rotunda. Let's walk to the right. Ooh, I like this sign a lot. It says, "Hey Walker, my UW education, $39,856. My Wisconsin teaching license, $19,240. Being able to protest your ignorance by sleeping at the Capitol, priceless. If you won't participate in democracy, I will." I like that sign.
Now, I've seen this little side room. There are several sleeping bags on the floor. There's at least one man in there sleeping right now.
Yeah.
Can you describe the sleeping arrangements here? How many people are sleeping every night? Who's actually taking part in this?
The last I heard was 2 days ago. They did a count, and it was about 400, a little bit more, I think. It's hard to tell because there's so many hallways and so many different areas. Really, people just find anywhere they can and put down their stuff. We've been trying to collect like bedding donations so people can have like mats underneath them and sleeping bags and pillows and all that stuff. We don't know how long we're going to be staying, but we're dedicated to stay as long as we need to.
All right, let's head over to the information center.
Wonderful. So the information station is a place, our motto is got info, need info, share info, knowledge is power. And the idea of is that the more things people know, the more organized we can be. In the first 2 nights I realized, on the TV screens up there, sometimes when the assembly's meeting, they show the assembly and have it on speakers that are around the Capitol, and people can't really hear what's going on. So like every once in a while something really important would happen and no one would know. And so that was one of the first things we started doing here was we'd write it up on our official low-tech Twitter. We actually have a real Twitter now that we don't use it very often just for really important things, but we started this low-tech Twitter over here, which people thought was pretty funny. It's just a whiteboard, so we write up new updates. People need to know what's going on if they're going to be informed and really strategically part of the movement and really trying to help accomplish the goals.
It sounds almost like you're running a small little town inside the State House.
People have been saying. People really see it as like our own little community. We're walking right now up to the food station in the North Gallery. Originally, the TAA was getting some food donations upstairs, and then the information station was getting food donations. We started getting so much that we really couldn't handle it all.
We've had a lot of support from the Madison community around the state as well as around the country. These bagels are actually donated by an organization in New York. I know the Teamsters have brought in brats. We've had organizations just sort of showing their support to everyone in a very human way. I mean, everybody has to eat.
We also have a list of all the places that food has come from. One of the ones that I think is most interesting, Malawi, from Haiti, from Cairo, Egypt.
Now, you're saying that people in Egypt have donated food for the people here in Madison?
Apparently, which is wonderful. I mean, I think that most people here agree that the people of Egypt really inspired people here. There's this whole issue with equating the two situations, which I think is a false equation, but there's no doubt that people here have been inspired by that, to really see that a group of people without any official leadership can really get together and do something. And I mean, here, there's the different unions so each people who are affiliated with the unions have their own leadership, but there's really not like one leader for the movement. And I think that that's one of the things that makes it really cool.
And what keeps you going?
Just the people, talking to people and seeing how amazing everything is and how people are working together. I keep saying this is the coolest thing I've ever been a part of, and people continuously tell me the same thing. Like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever been a part of, and people really feel empowered individually to accomplish things, to do things. They see something that's not being done and they do it. And that's really cool.
That's University of Wisconsin student Harriet Rowan taking our own Democracy Now's Mike Burke around the Capitol. John Nichols, The Nation magazine, 7th Generation Wisconsinite, 10 seconds. What's happening this weekend?
This weekend, you'll see a better part of 100,000 people in Madison coming from every corner of the state, and in capitals across the country, people will rally in solidarity with them, all to say, we want economic justice and democracy now.
Well, thanks so much, John. Tonight, Friday night, I'll be speaking at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, the Union Ballroom. Tomorrow night, I'll be at the University of Alberta in Canada, in Edmonton, speaking at the TELUS Center. You can go to our website at democracynow.org for more details. Democracy Now! Produced by Mike Burke, Shrufa Dokadu, Sarah Mate, Renee Feltz, Norman Shake, Steve Martinez, Nicole Salazar, Hani Massoud, Ravi Karen, all the folks here saying hello from the state capitol in Madison as we cover the uprising in Wisconsin. I'm Amy Goodman with Juan Gonzalez. Thanks for joining us.